It was my baby shower until my mom said, "We have something to celebrate too. Benjamin got into Stanford." I was scrubbing soda off the floor while they toasted to him. The next morning they found envelopes with an eviction date. Sometimes I think that I could have survived even in besieged Leningrad. Because if you carry another person on your back for 8 months and at the same time hang garlands with one hand and stir cold mulled wine for the guests you are going to feed with the other, then honestly, you deserve at least a bronze statue. Or at least a thank you. But in my family, instead of thank you, it's you chose this. That's very inspiring, isn't it? My name is Carol. 31. Self-employed, steady income, mortgage paid off. And now, surprise, surprise, mother-to-be. A girl. Although to be honest, I'm more prepared to have an armor than a baby. Because I know what kind of circus she'll be in if I don't change anything. The party was mine. Mine. A quiet baby shower. No drama. No show. Just a couple friends, light food, baby jumpsuits, paper balloons, a sign that said, "Welcome baby." I just wanted one day, no saving the world, no calculus. Just to be. I hung the decorations alone. Not because I like to suffer. It's just that no one offered to help. My mother was thinking on the couch about what to wear. My father was sitting with a newspaper he hadn't read in 10 years. Benjamin, my younger brother, of course, was too busy with, well, himself. He always is. He's like a shadow, he shows up even when he's not there. When everything was ready, I even relaxed a little. Friends came over, gifts were nice, conversations were good. For the first time in a long time I felt, well, almost at home. Almost. We were just about to bring out the cake. I even put on a new dress. The only one that still covered my belly without feeling like I was squeezing into a tent. And that's when my mom decided that her stage was more important than mine. She stood up, tapped her glass as if at a dinner party. A smile wide, theatrical. Her voice trembles a little, as if she's about to tear up. And she says, "Before we go any further, we have some important news. Benjamin got into Stanford." A pause. There's tension in the room like a bad sitcom. And then applause. Hooting. Someone shrieked, "Oh wow." Mom's glowing like at the prom. And there he is, Benjamin, strutting out with a letter in his hand, proud as a cat with a dead mouse. I didn't even notice when he walked in. He must have been waiting for the moment like in a cheap movie. He reads the letter, pauses modestly, waves his hand. "Well, I just applied, I didn't think they'd take me." Of course you didn't. Especially with the 3 tutors I was paying. Out of my own. And then there's the new tech, the new car, and the Seattle campus trip I sponsored. But who's counting, right? The applause intensifies. And suddenly the celebration was his. I stood with a tray in my hands with a cake I'd baked myself. The inscription, "We're waiting for you, baby. We're waiting for you, baby." No one even looked at it. His mom walked up to him, gave him a hug. Dad shook his hand as if he'd made the deal of the century. The girlfriends glanced over, smiling awkwardly. Someone put on some music. Not the one I'd put on. The one Benjamin likes. Well, he does, it's just louder. Soon his friends arrived. With alcohol. Laughing, smelling of deodorant and smug. One of them, I didn't remember his name because he didn't remember mine, sat right on the couch where I'd laid out the boxes of baby gifts and set the beer there. The cake stood off to the side. Unnoticed by anyone. Then someone hit it. A can of Coke, beige splash, and syrup all over the white tablecloth. The tablecloth was a gift. I'm up. 8 months pregnant. With a rag. And at that moment one of the guys walked past me. Walked over me. Over me. Like a box. No, excuse me. No, are you okay? Just past me. I was floor, furniture, garbage. Anything you want. Anything would do. For a second I looked up. Mom was laughing. Loudly. Looking at Benjamin like he'd been resurrected. The whole scene was like a theater where I'd been cut from the script. When it was over and they finally cleaned up, no one helped, by the way, guess who mopped the floor? I sat alone in the kitchen. The lights were out. My balloons were still hanging on the wall, crooked because I hung them alone. One of them had deflated. It looked like it knew how the evening was going to end. I ate the rest of the cake. Without the lettering, it was smeared under the cola. Tasted okay. But inside, everything felt rotten. Not from the food. It was the fact that once again I'd been cut out. On my day, In my house. Which I bought. That I'm paying for. And then I heard a voice behind the wall. Benjamin. He was laughing into someone's phone. Yeah, I just showed up and that's it, the show is mine. Like always. The usual. Exactly. I lay on my side. My daughter pushed from inside, almost like she was asking, is it always going to be like this? I stroked my belly and thought that probably yes if nothing changes. Mother will resent other people's ingratitude without noticing her own. Father will be silent like the muffler in an old car working but doing nothing. And Benjamin will be crowned once again for simply existing. But the worst part isn't them. The worst part is how long I've put up with all this. How skillfully I learned to explain other people's rudeness with their difficult childhood. How beautifully I justified the humiliation with my magnanimous maturity. To laugh when offended. To give the last of it and be thankful they didn't take it all away. And here I am. With a belly the size of an airbag. In a house where I bought everything, maintain everything, feed everyone. And yet they managed to make me superfluous. An extra in my own joy. In my own celebration. I remembered when I broke my leg as a child and was scolded for ruining the trip. How at graduation my mom asked me not to post pictures of me because my figure was unfortunate. Benjamin was praised for getting D's. My A's were a boring background. I also remembered how for his birthday I baked a cake even though I had a fever. Because he's a kid, he cares more. Yes, he was a kid. He's an adult now. But I'm still being handed the babysitting job. Even now. Even in this house. Especially in this house. I put the cake back in the box. Slowly, carefully. It wasn't his fault. It was just bad timing. Just like me. Then now who cares? I didn't want holidays anymore. I wanted air. Without the smell of other people's victories and my mom's despair that she hides under heroism. Without the constant feeling that I should apologize for living. I got up. I got a glass. And went to do the dishes. Yeah, again. Because who else would? But this time I did it with a thought that for the first time didn't sound like betrayal. I thought, what if I just stopped? Stop being background. Stop explaining. Stop giving when they don't even say thank you. Just stop. And with that thought I went to bed. Calmly. Almost without anger. Almost because something else started to take its place. Not fear. Not guilt. But something new. Something I hadn't felt in years. Control. The morning after the baby shower was strangely quiet. Suspiciously so. Usually at that time my mother had already managed to organize two mini scandals, one about the refrigerator, the other about the toaster. And my father hid from them in the garage. This time silence. Almost peace. Almost. I sat in the kitchen and drank tea. Not to relax, just because there was something to chew on besides resentment. The silence around me was not cozy. It tinkled like an old sink before it burst. And I could feel it, it would come. Mother came into the room as if nothing had happened. She even smiled as if we'd been celebrating my marathon victory yesterday. Not her starring in a drama called Benjamin's Meaning of Life. Why are you like this? She asked, turning on the kettle. I mean, it went well. It did? I didn't even look up. I cooked, paid for, organized, hung, and then mopped the floor while you clapped for Benjamin? Well, you've always been a control freak, she snorted. And anyway, Stanford is serious. We should all be proud. Have you ever been proud of me? I asked. A pause. A real one. Tight one. Then a sigh. You're too sensitive, Carol. Don't turn this into a tragedy. You're a grown woman. She left without waiting for an answer. Just like she always does. She finished her scene and went backstage. Half an hour later my father came in. He wiped his glasses, coughed. Your mom's worried. Don't be so hard on her. After all, she wanted another monologue where I'm the furniture? I asked her. Dad, do you ever notice how you talk to me? I try to stay out of it. I'm all about peace. You're for quiet. Only the silence is always on my bones, I replied. He's gone. He always does. Peacemaker. Damn him. From that day on I started counting. Not days, moments. Every episode where I became a function again, not a person. I wrote down who opened my refrigerator, who used my car, who didn't lock the door. Little things. Maybe. But it's little things like that that weave the stranglehold. My family saw the house as something we had in common. even though I own it. The money is mine. The utilities are mine. I even closed the mortgage myself. And they just lived. As if I wasn't a person but a fund to support underprivileged relatives. In the evening, I suggested to my mother that I hire a cleaning lady. It's hard for me, you can't do it. What about Benjamin? She asked. What about what? Well, he's at a turning point. He needs support. And the expense? I couldn't take it. I'm pregnant. I'm 8 months pregnant. And you're telling me a cleaning lady is a threat to his future? She shrugged like I was offering to pay for a witches' convention. You're strong. You can handle it. You always have. I heard it. You're strong. Translation. You're ineligible. And something snapped in that moment. Not loudly. Not scandalously. But quietly. Like a string holding up a heavy chandelier. The next morning I went to my lawyer's office. Small office. A stern woman. Smells of coffee in order. I want to serve an eviction notice, I said. Are you the owner? She said. It's all in my name. They don't pay a dime. They're not even helping. In fact, they're using me. Are you ready for the consequences? I looked at her. Then I nodded. I'm already living in them. We've drawn up the papers. Letters. Warnings. All legal. Clean. I made copies, scanned them, put them in a separate folder. I removed my dad from the Wi-Fi. Changed his account passwords. Started plugging the leaks. That night at dinner I said, we're gonna have an audit of our expenses. Mother rolled her eyes. Father coughed. Benjamin muttered. And I'm in session actually. And it's toxic. Really? I said. You live here, eat on my dime, use my car and tell me it's toxic? Because you're always counting things. It's all kind of cruel. It's not cruel. It's adulting. He dropped his fork. He walked out. Didn't even slam the door, just walked out. Not used to resistance. I went to bed that night feeling like there was someone new in this house. Not a child. Not anger. It was me. The real me. And she came with a folder under her arm and a look that no longer sought approval. On the third day after the baby shower, Benjamin brought his friends over again. No warning. Just opened my door, yes, my door, because it was closed, and announced that they would play for a couple hours. I sat there with papers in my lap and a laptop in which I was calculating utility bills. He didn't even apologize. Do you mind? I asked after the guys had piled in with pizza and something that smelled like a gym locker room. Too late to ask when you're already in, I replied. He grinned. He always did. With that look on his face like I was the accountant of his childhood. Whatever he did, I'd count it, smooth it out, and give him change in carrots. 2 hours later they were gone, leaving a trail of crumbs, open cans and socks. I silently packed everything in a bag. I put it next to his backpack. Not a word. My mom saw it and freaked out. Are you kicking your brother out? No. I'm just putting things back in order where they don't belong. You're overreacting. This is a family home. We're all family here. Except for some reason, family has always meant everything yours is ours, everything ours is symbolic. When I refused to pay for his subscription to another online course, Benjamin told me that I was not the same anymore. That I used to be kinder. Yeah, I used to be quieter. I started collecting files, photos, screenshots, audio recordings, correspondences where my mother accuses me of pregnancy hitting me in the head. Where my father says, your sister is just tired. She'll be herself again later. Back to what? The cafeteria? A cash register? An emotional air conditioner? I made copies of all the financial transactions. I found an old estimate that listed every expense for Benjamin for the last 2 years. Tutoring, clothes, trips. Half of it he doesn't even remember. And I'm still paying for it. The lawyer sent me a plan. Notice 30 days. Change of residency notice. It's all legal. No scandal. But with consequences. At dinner I asked my father, how much rent are you willing to pay? He raised his eyebrows as if I'd offered to sell his chair. Do I have to? I already have. You've always managed on your own. We thought you were comfortable. I'm comfortable when I don't have to pull 3. He stopped talking. And then he said something I still remember. Well, if you've started all this, I guess you don't need us anymore. It wasn't a question. It was an accusation disguised as an insult. I nodded. Maybe it was. There was silence in the kitchen. But not the old one, the one that muffled. A different kind of silence. The kind of silence that comes before a choice. And I've already made a choice. They didn't know I woke up before everyone else. I didn't set the alarm clock. I just couldn't sleep anymore. My hands poured the tea by themselves. I watched it drip and thought that maybe tea was the only thing in this house that still flowed according to my rules. The papers were laid out neatly. 3 envelopes, one for each. Mother's, father's, Benjamin's. I hadn't left an extra piece of paper. Attention to detail is a business habit, after all. I sat at the table and waited. Mother was the first to enter the room. A rope. Hair disheveled. Eyes half asleep, but already looking for a reason to be displeased. She saw the envelope. "What's this?" "Official notice," I said. Calmly. No pressure. She took it. She read it. Her lips quivered. Eyes widened. Her voice was a breakdown. Are you serious? You're kicking us out?" "I'm reclaiming my space. And my life. It's your pregnancy playing tricks on you. It's your hormones. You don't know what you're doing. You." "No." "Yes, I do." That's when the father came in. He saw what she was holding. He took his envelope. He read it. He tensed his jaw. Then he exhaled quietly. "Carol, this is too much. We can sit down, talk. Talk about it. We're family. We've talked about it. For 15 years. While I was paying and you were saying, she's got nothing to do anyway. We'll start paying. Can? Well, we both can." I looked him straight in the eye. Too late. Now it's my terms. And there he was. Benjamin. With a cell phone in his hand and the face of a man who's always late for consequences. What's going on? His mother rushed over to him. "She's kicking us out. All of us. Can you believe it?" He looked at me. "Is this a joke?" "No, it's not. You can't. This is my house too." "No, Benjamin. It was never your house. It was mine. You just lived in it like a hotel. No pay, no gratitude, with a bar and a roommate." He blew up. "Is it because I'm at Stanford? Because you're jealous? Yes, I'm younger. Yes, I'm not as uptight. But that's no reason to cause drama. You took my day. You took everything else. And now you're getting the bill." He tried to grab the envelope, crumple it up. I didn't stop him. Let him. The paper's not the point. The important thing is that he heard no for the first time. From me. There was silence. Not theatrical. Cold. Father was silent. Mother sobbed. Benjamin looked as if I'd fired him from a job he'd never done. From that morning, the pity campaign began. Mother cried on the phone with her aunts. My father texted me, "Are you sure? We can work this out." And Benjamin sent me audio of him calling me mentally ill. I sent everything to my lawyer. On the 3rd day they changed tactics. The house was calm. A little too calm. They were packing. Awkwardly. No words. My mother tried to speak a couple times, but I didn't answer. Not because I was angry, because I didn't have to. On the 30th day, everything was ready. I got up as usual. I made tea. I went through the rooms. Empty. Clear. Only the air was left. Mine. Keys at the door. Left. No note. No explanation. Not even a theater. They just left. Father silent. Mother with her head down. Benjamin was the last. He lingered in the doorway. "You'll be sorry," he said. "That's what you think. I've already stopped." He went out. And I stayed. Not alone. But free. I walked barefoot through the house. The floor creaked. But not from the heaviness. From finally being heard. Other sounds live in this house now. My daughter's laughter. Her footsteps. Her mommy look? Instead of mommy give. And my let's go together. They're gone. But honestly, I left early. I just physically stayed. Now I don't. And if love is a favor, then I've closed that subscription. Forever. The first week was particularly loud, but not in the house but on the phone. My mother texted a cousin, the same cousin who only calls if someone is dying. Then the uncle showed up. "You're too radical, Carol. It's your parents." Surprisingly, neither of them asked where they were when I was mopping the floor with my belly while they celebrated Benjamin's admission. Then my mother started sending out letters. Paper ones. Handwritten, like she had a notary sitting in her kitchen. In one of them, she wrote that she was worried about my suitability as a mother, that I was unstable, that there was no male support in the house. I read it. I made a copy. I sent it to the lawyer. No comment. Let the paper speak for itself. The father offered compromises. Can't we at least stay in the garage? I'll help with the baby. A grandson after all. I asked how many times he'd picked me up when I'd fallen. He stopped talking. He always shut up when he had to do something. It's amazing how many people can be silent when they are not asked for an opinion, but demand participation. Benjamin sent a picture of his empty suitcase, with the caption, "You made me homeless." I didn't respond. Then a GoFundMe screenshot. He was collecting on rent. $48. Apparently there weren't many sympathizers. The day they left, I thought I was going to cry, that it would hit. But instead I vacuumed. Not because it was dirty, because it was my first day without a trace of them. It's been 4 years. My daughter is in elementary school now. Her name is Avery. She draws everything: walls, clothes, even my coffee mug. We got a cat. He's got one eye, but he's got a lot of personality. We call him Murphy. We bake pancakes together in the morning and play Guess Who at night. And we always guess each other. Sometimes I hear that the family's staying with old acquaintances now, that Benjamin dropped out of school, that the mother writes angry letters to nowhere, that the father works part-time as an accountant, even though he always said he had a special relationship with numbers. I'm not angry. I'm not retaliating. I'm just not there anymore. Not inside their schemes. Not on the sidelines. Not in their debt. It wasn't revenge. It was protection. From them. From my old self. From a world where I'm only useful. Now I'm not useful. I'm happy. And yes, I know some will say I've given up on my family. But the truth? They're the ones who gave up on me years earlier. I just signed a document. Recently I found an old photograph. It's all of us, me, my parents, Benjamin. I'm holding my diploma, smiling. They're not. My mother is looking away. Father is on the phone. Benjamin is eating. And that's when I realized I was happy for me alone. Even on that day. I framed the photo. But on the other side, facing the wall. Not for revenge, but to remember where I left off. There's a different picture on the wall in my house now. It's me and Avery. She's holding my finger. And I'm holding her whole one. That's family. Not by blood. It's mutual. You didn't notice when I disappeared into the house I paid for. But now you'll definitely notice I'm gone. What would you do if you were her? Leave your feedback. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more stories like this.